Yo, what up? It's your brother. And hopefully your friend, Big Hill. My voice in the building. Black African power. Each one teach one. Yeah, I want to make this video right quick. I was just sitting here contemplating, thinking about some things, man. And I was looking at it from a perspective of spiritual growth. That's really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about spiritual growth and viewing religion from an educated standpoint. But I want to start with the spiritual growth, because when I analyze and I critically examine the behavior of my people, black folk, one of the main problems that I can see, is that we don't have a lot of spiritual maturity. Got plenty of Jesus, plenty of religion, plenty of Islam, but we have no spiritual maturity. Because these I ain't even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna cast no aspersions, but that's just my analysis. And the reason I say that is because I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago, man, I was watching Sarnetta TV, and the brother was on there. I think at the time he was going by the name of Booker T. Coleman, but now he's known as Kaba Hayawata Kamini. He's a brother, what I'm saying, that we've seen on the Hidden Colors. You're part of the consciousness and you understand, the conscious saying, you know what I'm talking about. Very brilliant brother. And he was talking about, he made a statement about 3 or 4 years ago. And I adopted that statement. And I often repeat it to try to encourage our brothers and sisters to think about it. And what he said was, the spiritually mature among us must be able to move past the BS and the bullshit to look past our brothers and our sisters' fault and see their need and address and speak to their need instead of their fault. He said the spiritually mature and the spiritually wise among us should be able to do that. So what that looks like to me is when we're engaged in a dialogue, or you show up in my space a certain kind of way with a lot of negative energy and what have you, I should be able to look past that. That's your fault. I should be able to look past that and see your need. And I should be able to determine at that time how to respond to that, what you bring to me. Instead of, and then if you bring in negative energy, mentally transmute that negative energy and give it back to you with positivity. But if you come at me with the BS, and I'm not spiritually mature enough to do that, then I will respond in like manner. You roll up on me, man, with a bunch of bullshit, cussing and carrying on, and I'm gonna come back at you the same way. Why? Because all I see is your fault. You wrong. You ain't got no business talking to me like that. And I know sometimes, man, that we get caught up. I get caught up. I often say I try to resonate on a high vibrational frequency, on a high level. I try to stay in my higher self. I try to be the expression of divinity. We got this thing that we always talk about, we gods, we kings and queens. Well, if you're gonna stay claim to that, then your behavior should reflect that. If you're gonna stay claim to some divinity, then the nature of who you are should have a divine essence to it. You know what I'm saying? So I try to resonate. But, I done studied, and I continue to study Hermetic law. So I understand the law of polarity. Because the law of polarity means that everything vibrates on the same, everything vibrates on the same plane, it's just different frequencies. It's the same energy. Like love and hate, that's the same energy. Hot and cold, that's the same energy. It's just the vibration is it's the polarity, it's different poles of the same energy. So me understanding that law, when I feel like that I want to, like I say, take my occasional foray into niggerdom and come up with some nigger shit in response to some nigger shit that's presented to me, then I understand the law of polarity. I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to go visit my lower self right quick, and I'm gonna vibrate on this low frequency because I need to let you know a little something right now, you know what I'm saying? I need to let you know you fucking with a real one. See, I'm that brother from the street, that ignorant nigga. It will fuck you up if you play me too close. That's just how I am. Always been that way. So when I go into lower self, that's the energy that you're gonna get from me. You're gonna get a real hostile, real disrespectful, dangerous individual. That's the reason I don't like being in there. And I try to resonate high. And I'm able to do that. But see, I understand, man, that, you know, when I choose to do that, it's a choice. It's not because you said something to me and I feel like that guy, you know, I didn't have no other choice but to respond to you like that. Nah, I've trained myself to respond instead of react. I'm not a reactive brother like I used to be. I respond. I have the ability to respond, responsibility, the ability to respond the way I choose to. And so when I go into that lower self, that's because, you know, I sat there and I thought for a minute. And I was like, all right, let me go down here right quick and speak to this individual in a language that he probably can understand instead of the high spiritual, divine intelligence and divine speech that I would rather come with. I'm gonna go ahead, man, and be that nigga and let you know, yo, bro, hold on, back up. But anyway. But the point I'm trying to make is, man, is that we need to focus more on being able. We need to develop the spiritual maturity to be able, when we dealing with our brothers and sisters and we know that they ain't where we at, knowledge-wise or spiritually, we need to be able to look past their fault and see their need. You know what I'm saying? If you come at me, you know, I always say, like, if I'm in a dialogue with somebody and we're having quote unquote debate, or we just having a dialogue about something, we present information to each other. And I know that I'm presenting information that you might not be aware of, and I'm challenging your ideas and your beliefs, because no one likes their beliefs and ideas challenged. If I think I know something, I start talking to you about it, and then you come up with some information to shoot what I think I know down, the first thing that's gonna happen to me is that I'm gonna experience some cognitive dissonance. Because I'm telling you what I believe is the truth, and you presenting me some information that conflicts with what I believe to be is true. So cognitive dissonance is gonna occur, and my mind is gonna automatically start rejecting the information, even though it may be true. It's something that I don't know, so I really don't know if it's true or not. All I know is that it's conflicting with what I believe to be is true. And when that happens, usually one or two things are gonna happen. An intelligent, mature, wise person gonna say, man, okay, that might be true, bro, but I'm gonna have to get back with you on that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go do a little bit more research, because that line, you just hit me with something, I didn't know that. But the spiritually immature, he gonna resort to two things: childish name calling or personal attacks. You can always tell, like I always say, when a man don't have any truth to present or no facts to present, he's reduced to personal attacks and childish name calling. And you can always tell, because if you having a debate with somebody or you talking to somebody about something and y'all present information, the minute that other person goes into calling you name or start attacking you personally, that's because he done ran out of information. He has nothing else to give, and his immaturity is evident because he does not have the capacity to say, well, you may be right, brother. That ain't my understanding. So I can't argue with that. So what I'm gonna do is go do a little bit of research and I'll get back with you on that, because I don't think you're right. But you may be, because I don't know. Now, when that happens, and a person goes to that personal attack, the spiritually mature should not have to engage him in like manner. Yeah, Tango, what is it?
Goddamn drive.
Say what now?
Don't you ever ride up on my ass again like that. You let me eat it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Don't ride them brakes like that. If you don't hit the brakes, then you won't see me coming up on you like that. But anyway, you have a good day there, Chief.
I'm mad now.
You're gonna be alright. Just don't crash that truck. You're full of gasoline, man. If you decide to crash it, just make sure I'm far away from you. But anyway, I thought, you know, when a driver blow the horn like that at you, it's usually because something is going on with your truck and they want to let you know. The only thing you want to do is talk some shit. Matter of fact, I can use that as an example. Now here a redneck white boy, Critter Joe, redneck from Podunk, Alabama, driving a tanker. He hits his brakes and slows down. What for, I don't know. I see him and I go around him. He blows the horn as I go past him. So me, I get on the CB to try to find out what's going on. And he got a lot of shit to talk to. Some bitch don't ride up on my truck. Now, I could've, that goes just into what I was talking about. I could've sat there, man, and just went in on it, you know what I'm saying? But no, I ain't got time for that, man. I'm a little bit too old. I done got a little bit too old to be wasting my energy on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? When I see what bag you come out of, man, I see you full of shit. You know, if I don't feel like addressing your need and looking past your fault, and your fault is you full of shit, you ignorant, and you full of shit. I understand you because I used to be that dude. But you know what I'm saying, before I waste my energy, if I ain't gonna address your fault and try to put something in your head that's gonna expand your conscience a little bit, man, I'm just gonna leave you alone, man. I ain't got time for all that. But anyway, man, that's all I want to say, man. I'm just gonna make a point about that. When I'm talking about that too long, it's like, and I want to emphasize this. This is the whole. I said all that to say this once more, once again. The spiritually mature among us has to have the ability to look past people's fault and see their need. And instead of addressing their fault, address the need. That way you can be more helpful to your brother and your sister. If you don't have that ability, then, you know, just do what you do until you acquire the ability. But this is for the spiritually mature among us. Those of us that want to stay claim to being gods and goddesses. You want to claim divinity. You want the elite title of king and queen. Well, if you're a king and queen and you acting like a common subject, then you might need to leave that title alone until you reach that place mentally and spiritually and emotionally. If you haven't reached a place of divine wisdom, divine intellect, divine understanding, and grew and evolved into your godhood to a sufficient level that you can look past a person's fault and see their need, then you probably just need to, man, just be okay with where you at until you get to that place. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, because I don't know how much time I'm going to have on this video, the second thing we want to talk about is this right here. Religion. Okay, I see a lot of brothers and sisters on my Facebook feed, you know, making a lot of comments about Christianity, white Jesus. Most of my Facebook friends know where I stand on white Jesus. Man, get that shit out of my face. I understand, I done the knowledge on it. I understand when they came up with it. I understand what they came up with it for. I understand the whole story, the whole history of the Bible, the history of Christianity, the history of the whitewashing of the indigenous images that those things represent. I understand it and done the knowledge. That's why when I talk about religion, it doesn't have to come from a place of emotional anger. Now, when I first came out to church in 07, man, I railed hard on Christianity and white Jesus for at least 2 years. The whole 2 years that I was studying Islam. Because when I came out to church, I migrated over to Islam and I studied Islam for 2 years. From 07 to about 09. In 09, some brothers I know introduced me to Kemetic science. They started introducing me to a lot of the scholars in Kemet. You know, the Ray Hagan, the Ashraf Kwazis, you know, the Booker T. Colemans, and things like that. Because I was strictly on black nationalist Islam. NOI. And I was on I was studying Orthodox Islam too, so I could get a proper understanding. I mean, if y'all seen my videos, you know, I told you I read 6 books and studied 6 books on Islam over a period of 2 years. Studied 2 about the Prophet Muhammad. So, but during them 2 years, I railed on Christianity hard. Why? Because I spent 37 years as a Christian in the church. And when I started studying, researching the history, doing the knowledge on that which I had submitted my life to for so long, I clearly saw that it was all a fabrication and a lie and a plagiarization of something that happened long way before. Jesus Christ was the 16th world savior. But you know what we taught in the church? So that anger that I had me railing on Christians, Christianity, the Bible, everything. Matter of fact, I was at a point of throwing my Bible and just stop reading it all together, even though I had learned how to go in it and extract spiritual principles to continue to help me evolve, because I'm all about spiritual principles and spiritual wisdom. I know how to read the Bible without the religiosity. I can leave out the religiosity of it. I can leave out the Judaic and the Christian religiosity, and I can go in it and extract from it the spiritual principles to help me to keep evolving spiritually into my own God. And I know how to do that. But at a point, I was ready to throw it away until I listened to one of our ancestor scholars, Dr. John Henry Clark, say don't throw it away. And he gave me, in my opinion, some good reasons why. But the thing about it is, I understand what brothers and sisters are at when I hear them railing on. But what I want to get brothers and sisters to understand is that 80% of our people are in that book. So you can't, in order for you to reach our brothers and sisters, you have to be able to go inside that book, use the principles of it, and use that book to bring them out of it into a higher consciousness and shake that religiosity in the mind fuck. If you're not able to do that, you always gonna be in a place of y'all niggas is crazy, y'all are mind fuck, Christianity ain't shit. You always gonna come at Christianity from an emotional, I'm gonna say ignorant, uneducated perspective. But when you study religions and you study theology, theosophy, you study the origins of these things, you understand what mythology is. You understand religion and how religion has 3 aspects and what these 3 aspects, and then you can critically examine it and clearly see that the way religion is practiced today keep people stuck in the first aspect of it. Once you understand all these things, then you can come from an educated, you can start looking at Christianity and the Bible from an educated perspective. And if you say you don't like it, it ain't just based on I don't like it because it's fucked up and it got our people all messed up. That's emotion. You can't even really give a good, an intelligent, educated reason why you don't like it. And that's the point I'm trying to make is that, man, look, do a little bit more research. Because if you're still stuck in that emotional phase, that means you haven't grown. If you find out if you came out of that Bible 2 years ago or 2 or 3 years later, you still in that same place and feel the same way about it, that means you haven't grown spiritually. That means that you haven't expanded your consciousness through a process of education. That's what it means, because if you do the knowledge and you understand and you read and study other things about the Bible, the history of it, and you understand how the book was put together, you look at documentaries, you critically examine and you compare the information you get by doing your own research, and you take notes and then do your own research. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you watch YouTube. I'm like, man, okay, yeah, watch YouTube, but take notes. Take notes so you can go back and do your own research. Ain't nothing wrong with, you know, we live in that age that people have made documentaries about these things. Educated scholars have. So instead of taking their word, I just listen to them take certain little notes, and I say, oh, okay. Because a lot of what, when I first started coming out the Bible, a lot of what I started learning about the Bible was just confirming a lot of the research. Like when I started looking at Ray Hagan, and he started saying certain things, he was just confirming a lot of the things that I had already done. I had already done looked up the origins of Christianity. I already knew about the Council of Nicaea. I already knew the origins of the Bible and how in 1588 King James commissioned so many scholars and poets and stuff to write the Bible. It took so many years to get it. By 1611 they came out with the canon. I already knew that Bible sat on about 17 other Bibles that was already in print before the King James Version. So the information that I was getting from the video was just confirming a lot of what I already knew. And those things that I hadn't heard before, I would take notes and then go research it and read about it. Brothers and sisters, we must read. We must educate ourselves, because the education, I'm going to say, the indoctrination that we've been given, it hasn't been the truth. That's why we're so angry. Because we've been lied to, our parents was lied to, their parents was lied to, and their parents was lied to, all the way back to when they imposed that Christianity on us as a people. A man that's oppressing you and enslaving you ain't gonna give you nothing to free your mind. He gonna give you something to keep your mind enslaved. How many of y'all seen the Nat Turner movie that came out last year? When Nat Turner went into the big house and he went looking at them books, and the white lady told him, no, you don't want them books. Them books just got stuff that white people can understand. Here, you read this, and gave him a Bible. And clearly let you know what that book was used for. To keep our minds trapped and enslaved and colonized. So, I'm getting a little bit emotional here, man. So what I'm saying is this. Educate yourself. Educate yourself on the book. Like I say, 80% of our people are still in that book. And those of us, man, that's interested in helping and saving and waking our people up and freeing our people's mind, got to be able to go in that book. So when you see me using the book to teach a spiritual principle that I think will make all of us better people, don't look at it just because it's coming out the Bible and then reject it. That's ignorant as hell. You don't reject knowledge and information because it don't come in the package that you want it in. When you do that, you just put a ceiling on your growth. Because it don't come in the package you want it in, you reject it. Got to move past the emotionalism, man. We got to move past the emotionalism and start learning how to make our decisions based on sound, rational thinking and educated thought. And until we do that, we're going to be stuck in emotionalism. As soon as you see something, you're going to have an emotional reaction and response to it. Which probably is the wrong one. But anyway, man, I just wanted to say that, man. I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. I was interrupted by Critter Joe Redneck back there, but you know, I had to get back on track. And I just want to reiterate and re-emphasize my 2 points here. And that's that we all need to strive for spiritual maturity, because if we can all grow spiritually, man, you know, and develop and cultivate spiritual maturity, then we'll be better for each other. Because we some sick people. Black folk have a lot of pathologies. So the spiritually mature among us got to be able to cultivate ours and pass that on. Because if I'm an ignorant nigga and I roll up on you and I see that your response to me is a spiritually mature one, I'm gonna walk away thinking about that. And it's gonna stick with me, because I know it's gonna be so convicting. It's gonna convict my spirit so much that you didn't give me the response that I thought you was gonna give, because I came at you with all this anger and animus. You gave me a peaceful, loving response instead of an ignorant ass one like I just came to you. So the spiritually mature among us got to be able to look past our people's faults and see their needs. and respond to their need instead of their fault. That takes spiritual maturity and wisdom, and this is what we must cultivate. So we can stop being so goddamn savage. Like this European. We done came up in this European construct, so we just like him. We need to go back to who we are, Africans. Develop an African perspective, study African culture and African spirituality, and start treating each other among those lines, and I guarantee you we'll change as a people. And if you haven't done the knowledge on these religions like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, or any other, it's probably best for you to do so. That way your response and your attitude toward it won't be an immature, childlike emotion. I don't like it. And you really can't give no valid reason why you don't, other than an emotional. You know, if you could break down the history and then give a reason why you don't think it's good for us, like most of us who done the knowledge can, okay, but as soon as you see the Bible, you want to shit on it. That shows me that you really don't understand that that book came from us. The Romans just took it and did something else with it. But in its essence, it's ours. All religion, all spiritual systems came from us. The Roman didn't create shit. They just got our shit and corrupted it. So we must take it back and go in it, get the truth. Because they mix truth with falsehood. Get the truth and get the truth to our people. And that's all I wanted to say, man. It's your brother, Big Hill. Peace. I'm out.